What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got a reaction to Top 10 Random American Bands, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below, the Patreon link on the Instagram. We would not have a channel without our patrons. All right, this is not like the top 10 best American bands. These are random American bands. And I really look forward to this one after doing the research. Richard says, just a random collection of great U.S. bands that I thought would make a nice top 10. Hope you enjoy it. Over half of these bands I don't know, so I'm kind of looking forward to this and going a little bit of indie action here. So the music will not be in the video, but it'll be at a Vimeo link below. I suggest you definitely follow along with this one because you probably haven't heard most of these bands. We'll kick it off with number 10, The Ghost Club. The song Don't Let Go. It's just a single released in 2022. This really challenged my researching skills. A lot of these bands, they don't have wikis. They don't have anything, man. So I had to really do a lot of research to not get a lot of research for you. But for the Ghost Club in 2016, Dominic Dunnigan went to a Bruce Springsteen concert with his father. I mean, what an experience. And left that show changed. By 2018, he'd formed the Pittsburgh-based band, The Ghost Club. Dunnigan said, I had no real aspirations of much of anything. And I left the concert just completely changed. From that moment, I just wanted to learn how to be a musician. And thankfully, we have the internet. So I was able to look up, how do you play this? How do you record and produce? And it's been one stepping stone after another just to get to where I am now. Now the Ghost Club, which consists of Dunnigan on vocals and piano, Logan Casper on bass, Zach Leigh on guitar, and Stephen Krause on drums. This is their first single ever that they released. And Dominic did say he wanted to sound like modern Springsteen on this one. I'm all about that. All of the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Richard. Definitely Springsteen influence, but I thought they did a really good job on that, especially considering, you know, they don't have a lot of money here that they're going at this thing. So the song itself is, this guy's lost, right? He doesn't have any direction, but as long as he's got his girl, she keeps him grounded and keeps him going because he didn't know what he'd do without her. So yeah, really well done by the Ghost Club. Next up, we got the band Guster. I think that's how you say it. The song Careful from Keep It Together in 2003. Guster is an American alternative rock band from Boston. Founding members Adam Gardner, Ryan Miller, and Brian Rosenwerkel began practice sessions while attending Tufts University in Massachusetts and formed the band all the way back in 1991. They stayed underground for its first two full-length albums, but were broken into the musical mainstream in 1999 with its third studio album featuring the single Fa Fa, which made it onto the adult top 40. They enjoyed moderate success on the charts with this album, Keep It Together, with two singles in the adult top 40, this one in Amsterdam. A variety of television shows and movies have featured the band's music, and they earned their first gold record in 2018, which is amazing, right? They got together in 91 for the single Satellite. This is the second single from this album. All right, Careful by Guster. The highlight on that was the guitar melodies, right? They were fantastic. A little bit of harmonies in there as well. Basically, this girl's leaving him, gonna go to the people who tell her what she wants to hear, but he's gonna tell her the truth. So, been in those situations before in my life too, but like I said, guitar melody really on point, really sticks in the head. All right, I didn't know those first two bands, but I do know this one, but I didn't even know if they were a band, a guy, didn't know anything about them. Lord Huron, Not Dead Yet from the long lost album in 2021, their fourth studio album. Lord Huron is a American indie rock band based in Los Angeles, composed of Mark Berry on drums and percussion, Miguel Brasenio on bass, keyboard, and theremin, Tom Renaud on guitar, and its founder Ben Schneider on guitar and lead singer. Following some solo and self-produced EPs, the group's debut album Lonesome Dreams was released in 2012, and this one, as I said, was their last one so far, their fourth studio album. Lord Huron combines Western folk, rock and roll, pop melodies, and the surf rock genres with soundtrack and new age influences to produce a sound described by the Wall Street Journal as having, quote, a decidedly cinematic flair, heavy on mood and evocative imagery. They bring to mind the high lonesome sound of the band, Neil Young, My Morning Jacket, and Fleet Foxes, who are tremendous. I know a couple of their songs. One I found, and one that my 16-year-old daughter, Mackenzie, listens to all the time. I have really enjoyed those two songs. Not Dead Yet. Either he's going to kill himself or trying to get killed, but a different sound. I mean, like I said, I only know two of their songs, but definitely a different sound from almost a 50s style rockabilly with the guitar for the first part of the song, but it really kept me engaged. The guitar was just on point the entire time, but yeah, man, I just like that style. It's a little different. Like I said, I don't know them well, but I at least knew two songs of theirs, but that was a nice one. We'll go back to a band I don't know. Number 7, The Head and the Heart, Let's Be Still, from the Let's Be Still album in 2013, their second studio album. The Head and the Heart is an American indie folk band. They were formed in the summer of 2009 by Josiah Johnson, vocals, guitars, and percussion, and Jonathan Russell, vocals, guitars, and percussion. The band also includes Charity Rose Thielen on violin, guitars, and vocals, Chris Zachy on bass, Kenny Hasley on piano, and Tyler Williams on drums. They're signed to Warner Brothers Records and released 5 albums so far. Their most recent album was released in April of 2022. This song right here was their second single. All right, Let's Be Still from The Head and the Heart. Basically, he's trying to tell you that he's telling this girl, look, life is hard, right? Let's just be still. Let's chill out here and not go out and face the world, because the world is going to be tough and we may not last. So I just thought a real pleasant sound, right? Definitely a variety of instruments, more rich than some of the other songs we've had so far, which are more guitar driven. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Might check out more from this band. All right, next up, another one of those bands I know. I don't know them well, but we've got a few things up on the channel from the Lumineers. Their single Walls from 2018. They're an American alternative folk band based in Denver, Colorado. Founding members are Wesley Schultz, lead vocals and guitar, Jeremiah Freitz, drums, percussion, piano. Schultz and Freitz began writing and performing together in New Jersey in 2005. Cellist and vocalist Nyla Pekarik joined the band in 2010 and was a member until 2018. The Lumineers emerged as one of the most popular folk rock Americana artists during the revival of those genres, their popularity growing in the 2010s. They're known for their energetic live shows and several international hit singles. They've released 4 albums. This song was released in commemoration of the first anniversary of Tom Petty's death. It was released as a single and was not incorporated in any album. It reached number 45 on the Billboard Hot Rock and Alternative Songs. Throughout 2017, they opened several concerts for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. In the same year, they performed Walls at the annual Music Cares Person of the Year Gala, at which Petty was present. Schultz mentioned for Rolling Stone, he said, after we played, Petty told me how much he liked and appreciated the version, which was a great honor. This is our way of paying homage to him. It was reported that proceeds from the song were donated to Music Cares, which provides people in the music industry with financial, medical, and personal assistance in times of need. All right. Okay, I never heard the Petty version of this song, but it definitely just sounds like Petty, right? Even the way they actually perform it, but his writing, he's talking to this girl who has walls, right? She's built up walls to protect her heart, but he's going to hold out and get those walls to come down because he knows her heart is so big, but she's just trying to protect herself. So a really good song, man. Really good song. Really well done by the Lumineers. All right, we're to the top half of the top 10 random American bands. We got Ages and Ages with their song Divisionary Do the Right Thing in parentheses from the Divisionary album in 2014. They are an American rock band from Portland, Oregon. Every member of the band sings, accompanied by hand claps, shakers, and noisemakers. All right? That even all rhymes, doesn't it? 2011, they signed a record deal with Partisan Records and have since undertaken several national U.S. tours. In 2013, they changed their name from Ages and Ages, which is all one word, to this, Ages and Ages, where it's actually spaced correctly. The rechristened band played their first European dates in the winter of 2014. That's all the info I could find. I don't know if they're still together or what, but we're actually going to watch the video for this one. Okay, Do the Right Thing. That video was highly impressive, right? It starts out and you're just thinking, okay, they're sitting around in this room and got a few friends. And then as it unfolds, I mean, you realize that like there's tons of people involved musically, from the tambourine to, the trumpets to the violins over there on the side. And then you get this children's choir that comes in, and like, it's unbelievably impressive, everybody coordinated, but also the production of it, being able to film this and hide the cameras and being able to get everything just incredibly impressive, great live performance. Yeah, that one was fun. I see why Richard wanted us to watch the video on that one. And I mean, the message of the song is what we all should be doing, but unfortunately in this world, a lot of people aren't. Do the right thing. Next up, we got a band that we all know, but this is from 2016. We got Me and Magdalena from the Monkees, from the Good Times album, their 12th and first album since 1996, so they went quite a ways. It's the first album since the death of Davy Jones. The album features surviving member or Monkees, Mickey Dolenz, Michael Nesmith, and Peter Tork, as well as a posthumous contribution from Jones. This song is written by Ben Gibbard, of course from Death Cab from Cutie, and features lead vocals by Mike Nesmith. Me and Magdalena, nice piano on this one. Definitely had that Death Cab for Cutie feel, right? Not just in the lyricism, but in the arrangement of it. So really well done by these guys. I mean, considering their age and everything else, just a nice little love ballad, right? Doesn't know if he's ever loved anybody as half as much as he's loved Magdalena in this light. And yeah, just well done. A surprise there from the Monkees. Next up, we have the band Blitzen Trapper and the song Fur off the album of the same name in 2008. Their fourth album was number 13 on Rolling Stone's Best Albums of 2008. They're a Portland, Oregon-based experimental country folk rock band associated with Sub Pop Records, Vagrant Records, and Wojinks. Formed in 2000, they released their first self-released their first 3 albums. So this was their first one with the label. They released 10 albums. This song was number 4 on Rolling Stone's 100 Best Singles of 2008. I've never even heard of these guys. Let's do it. Fur, just a brilliantly written song, right? A lot of Fleet Foxes type sound in here, although they were around before the Foxes were. But that kind of sound, 2008. But just so well done because he's a part of the pack, right? The Fur, like he's young, so he's looking for his place. So he fits in with these people. But then he kind of just stops thinking for himself. So he talks about, better watch what you do if you're making God a liar. So he's living carefree, but then he finds this girl. So he changes, he puts his human skin back on. But then towards the end, he's reminiscing on how he could run free, right? The way we are when we have no responsibilities except for ourselves. Then you find a significant other, you might have kids, you have a job, a career, and things change, right? So you reminisce back on how it was. I mean, just a brilliantly written song. All right, we got 2 bands left. Number 2, Rogue Wave. Their song Eyes from Just Friends in 2005. Rogue Wave's an indie rock band from Oakland, California, headed by Zach Schwartz, a.k.a. Zach Rogue, who created the band after losing his job in the dot-com bust. 7 albums. Their last one was in 2017. All right, Eyes. So, kind of a chilled out, nice vocal performance there by Zach. And the idea is, he's going home. So I think he's been out a hard night of partying, missed the last train, but he's going to get to he's going to finish this off. We don't really know what, but once he comes down from the high or the drunk or, the whatever it is, he thinks back on her and her eyes and how much he misses her, So we run from things, painful situations, our life relationships or whatever else, and maybe we find our relief temporarily in substances, but when those wear off, you're still back in the same boat. And that's kind of what he's saying here. So well done. Right, the proverbial drum roll. We're to number 1 on Richard's Random American Bands Top 10. Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. The song I Need Never Get Old. I hear you, man. From Nathaniel and the Night Sweats in 2015. He is an American singer and songwriter based in Denver, Colorado, whose influences are described as folk, Americana, and vintage rhythm and blues. He's performed with a backing band, this one called the Night Sweats, for an R&B side project he formed in 2013. He's also released 3 solo albums, 2 solo EPs, and 1 album as Nathaniel Rateliff and the Wheel. We're going to watch the video for this one. All right, I Need Never Get Old, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. What a fantastic video. Great choice for Richard to have us watch this video. So much going on here. And when they age at the end, they've changed instruments a lot of there's just so much going on. They get on the plastic fireman hats because that's what you do when you're young, you're carefree, just everything that goes on, the frustration, it's so well done and very catchy. So well done musically. So that was a great choice at number 1. All right, now we're going to get to my favorite tracks. So, these are bands, right? It's always hard when I do these because I got to judge it on the song because I don't know the artist. A couple of the artists I knew a couple songs from, but not really much. So I kind of just got to go from what I hear in these songs. But obviously Richard knows better in his rankings because he knows these bands. Kudos to Richard for knowing all these bands to be able to pull this together. Quite impressed with that. All right, honorable mentions: the first song, The Ghost Club, Don't Let Go, Lord Huron, Not Dead Yet, The Lumineers, Walls, and Ages Divisionary. My favorite tracks, the last one, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. I Need Never Get Old. My favorite one, just because of the way it was written and unfolded, Blitzen, Trapper, and Fur. So let me know your favorite tracks below. Let me know some good random American bands. We're not talking about bands that everybody knows. We're talking about these bands that are really good that we can discover nowadays. We live in a great time of music. It's just, you got to find these bands, but they're there. So let me know who else I should check out. Thanks to Richard for putting this together. Until next time, guys, I will see you.